red is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice, ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. God knows. Yeah, the clinics, but that baby wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a lick with till they explode? Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Tax. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of...
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Los Angeles Rams, and he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line, and the Dallas Cowboys. Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. The first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks. 50 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. So, wow. I mean, that'll quiet this crowd right. A big one there on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, you have to be thinking, we're at home for the playoffs. That had to be a splash of cold water right in their face, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be thinking, we're going to have to work on this and do so in a hurry. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Prescott from the gun. Steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. He'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Gurley's got the 1st down and then some. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley from 17 yards out. And the Rams add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the red zone now, Prescott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Prescott now. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz from 3 yards out. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the 2nd drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on third, Goff. This is caught, it's Cooks. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Rams add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd down, Prescott eluding the pressure right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Prescott on 1st down. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Rams have got it back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demarcus Lawrence in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Or maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Prescott now on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Smith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik Collins in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
3rd and long. It's Goff. Fighting through pressure. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have really...
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Rams have got it back. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Goff now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On play action, Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib.
There's been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
From the end zone, gone. And it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the...
And he can't get away. Gurley couldn't escape it, and that's it's going to be a safety.
And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And this is good for a 1st down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Buying time to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Able to get away.
That's why he keeps the legs churning.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Prescott. Left side, it's complete. And out across midfield, down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this one caught by Beasley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Steps away to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll run it with Mack. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
From the gun on third down, Goff dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Shoves him away, and now running right through it. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Again, they run with Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Rams on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sean Lee in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And Zerline's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead. And we've got a dandy here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Throwing, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Play action now, Prescott. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run with Matt. And he's going to be met at about the 43. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Prescott down. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. On second down, here's Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now Mack. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Prescott from the gun, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys will extend their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. A shotgun snap for gone. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Goff throwing again to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and 2. Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Zerline's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing here, Prescott. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Now a carry from back. And an alley to run. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. Look at them, how they make
make it in America. Day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah.